Hello all, welcome to the program Know Your Government by Ekam IAS, an initiative where we pick up a government scheme, describe its key features and is followed by a question in line with the UPSC pattern. Today we will look into a scheme which is known as the Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Grameen Kaushalya Yojana. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Grameen Kaushalya Yojana. So, the tagline of this scheme is Empowering India and Powering the World. Remember, Empowering India, Powering the World. Now, this is basically a skill development program implemented by the Ministry of Rural Development. Ministry of Rural Development implementing this program for what? For developing skills and productive capacity of the rural youth from poor families. To develop the skills of rural youth, especially from poor families, is the idea of this scheme. DDU-GKY implements training projects benchmarked to global standards with an emphasis on placement, retention, career progression and foreign placement. So, training is given to people followed by an avenue in which they are placed into a job. And if possible, this scheme has also got avenue to give foreign placement for people as well as for supporting them in this role. Then, this was launched on 2014 on the occasion of 98th birthday of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. So, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya's birthday in 2014 is when this scheme has been launched, and this is part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission. This is part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission, which is basically serving the dual purpose of one, aiding to the diversity of income, especially for the rural poor families, through ensuring that they are having enough avenues to sustain their family as well as cater to career aspirations of the rural youth. So, the dual objective of catering to the career aspirations of the rural youth as well as adding diversity to the income of rural poor families is what has been taken care by the National Rural Livelihood Mission, and this scheme is a part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission. Now, enabling poor and marginalized to access the benefits of whatever be the benefits which they are going to get because of a skill which they possess and because of the training in skill is one of the first feature of this scheme. This entire slide is representing the key features of this scheme. One, the second scheme is an inclusive program design. So, this scheme is taking care of the skilling part in an inclusive manner wherein which among the people who are identified to be skilled, there should be SC/ST people should be closely forming up to 50%. Then minority should be for at least 15% and women at least 33% reservation is being put up. SC/ST 50%, minority 15% and for women it is close to 33%. Then shifting emphasis from training to career progression. So, apart from just mere getting a skill and then getting into a job is not the key objective. Also ensuring that is happening in a sustainable mode so that they can progress up in their career is also enlisted or envisaged under this scheme. Then, greater support for placed candidates. That is, if a candidate is placed especially in overseas regions, all the post-placement support like the migration activities, helping him with the legalities in those respective nations, with the legal framework in those respective nations, helping him in terms of with the visa support etc. are again some of the thing which has been done apart from mere skilling part. And then proactive approach to build placement partnerships, also to ensure that there are enough institutional mechanisms who are absorbing these people who are trained under the scheme is also one of the key features this scheme envisages. Enhancing the capacity of implementation partners, also those people who are chosen to impart training to the people identified under the scheme, their skill giving capability or capacity is also enhanced is also taken care under this scheme. That is the idea of train the trainer is also envisaged under this one. Now, there are some special regional focuses in the scheme that is happening especially for the Jammu and Kashmir region, Northeast region, and for those regions which are affected by the left-wing extremism. We will see the details of that subsequently. And also, this scheme is ensuring that the standards-led delivery model is being what has been practiced here. That is to ensure that minimum skill level or minimum standard level in the skill certification which has been given to people is again one of the key things which has been taken care. Now, some of the special initiatives or a regional focus initiatives under the scheme is, first is one which is known as Himayat, or that is a special scheme for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir to be skill trained. Himayat, that is special scheme for the youth of both rural and urban youth of Jammu and Kashmir. Next is something which is known as Roshni, a special initiative for the rural youth of poor families from the left-wing extremism affected districts across 9 states. So, focusing upon the left-wing extremism affected districts for the skill training of people is the initiative of Roshni, and also a specific focus is given to the Northeastern region. That is Northeastern region. 10% of the DDU GKY program funds are reserved for projects in Northeast, wherein the center contributes 90% of the training cost. So, for a particular project which has been happening in Northeastern region, close to 90% of the training cost has been what has been contributed by the center, also to ensuring that there are having sufficient rural employment opportunities for these people in the Northeast as well. Then, covering our 250 trades, and the skill training has been happening in close to 250 trades plus different trades and sectors, and some of them would include retail sector, hospitality sector, health sector, construction sector, automotive sector, leather sector, electrical, plumbing, gems and jewelry. So, a large of different and diversified skill set training is what has been envisaged under this scheme. Then, the trade specific skills are required to follow the curriculum and norms prescribed by specific national agencies. Say for example, a particular training being given to people in plumbing. There should be a standard mechanism to ensure that they are having the enough and the right skill which is pertaining to that. So that kind of a standard benchmarking with respect to the national agencies like National Council for Vocational Training and Sectoral Skill Council, etc. is being taken care, is also one of the key point of the scheme. Then, in addition to the trade specific skills, training must be provided in employability, soft skills, English as well as in computer literacy, that is in the information technology. In those areas also trainings are given to people. English, soft skill training, information technology as well. Now, the vision of the scheme is to transform rural poor youth into an economically independent and globally relevant workforce. Transform rural poor youth into an economically independent and globally relevant workforce. And the beneficiaries of this scheme, one of the key important things which you need to study while studying a government scheme is the beneficiaries, and in this scheme, that is for rural youth between the age group of 15 to 35 years. 15 to 35 years, whereas for SC/ST, PVTG as well as the persons with disabilities, the age has been relaxed up to 45 years. So understand that. Then this is designed to benefit the Prime Minister's Make in India campaign as well, because skill deficiency part is being addressed so that more people can be pumped up into the Make in India campaign is also an added benefit of the scheme. Also aim to position India as one of the skill capital of the world. Then this is basically involving or following a 3-tier implementation model. A 3-tier implementation model wherein which you would have DDU GKY national unit at the Ministry of Rural Development. So you will have a national unit, then you will have something which is being followed by respective state missions, that is DDU GKY state missions, and something which is known as the project implementing agencies. Project implementing agencies who are basically implementing this project at the ground level. So a 3-tier model. At a national level, then the state missions as well as something which is known as the project implementing agencies. Now, while identifying the project implementing agencies or those institutes which are going to give skill training to people, these are all some of the priorities given in terms of identifying the project implementing agencies. What are those? First one is regarding foreign placement, that is whether that agency is capable to give foreign placement to the people who are undergoing skill training. If yes, then those agencies would be given high priority to be a skill partner under the scheme. Then captive employment, that is placement of candidates in own or subsidiary firm, that is whether they are able to give a placement to the candidates to industry internship support, whether the placement agency has been able to do that or the project implementation agency is able to do that, that has also been taken care. Now champion employee, that is PIA, assuring placement of 10,000 DDU GKY candidates in 2 years and also with an career progression. So those agencies are also given, as well as those education institutions of higher repute. Those education institutions of higher repute which are affiliated to the AICTE or UGC and with an above average standard ratings are given some of the key priorities to be identified as project implementing agencies under the scheme. So that is more or less the crux of the scheme. We will now see a question which is based on the scheme. With reference to Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Grameen Kaushalya Yojana, which of the statement given below is or are correct? First one, this is a program by the Ministry of Rural Development. That is what we have seen. It's a program by the Ministry of Rural Development. So the first statement is correct. Now, shifting emphasis from training to career progression is a key feature of this. Shifting emphasis from training to career progression. So apart from training, the idea of career progression is also one of the key feature involved in this one. So the second statement is also correct, which is making the option as option C, both 1 and 2. Thank you so much.